Hello and welcome to Totally Tell Me, a weekly entertainment review podcast where we talk about movies, music, food, and fun. My name is Dominic Mercurio, and I am here with Laura Weinbach.
Yo, what's
What?
up, birthday boy? Boy.
Oh my god, wow. Well, it is my birthday weekend. It's true. The rumors are true. Thanks for all the happy birthdays in the chat already. What's up, everybody? If you don't know, we also stream live on YouTube and Twitch. You could be listening to this later on podcast services as well. But you're always welcome to join us for the live version. We go live every other Sunday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on YouTube and Twitch. So if you are watching us live right now, feel free to comment. We see your comments, and we will rope you in. We'll fold you into the show as we see fit. We ultimately choose your fate as to whether you are on this show or not. But you know what? Everybody is on this show right now. What's up, Gemma, Bryce, the classics, Marshy? What's up? And yeah, thanks for the birthday wishes in the chat. My birthday was actually 2 days ago, so you're all late. But it's fine. I mean, you probably don't have my number, so you could have found it somewhere on the dark web, but I'm glad you didn't go to such lengths. You waited, you did the right thing, and you're saying it now, so thank you very much. Anywho, Laura, we just saw each other last night.
We did. Well, I don't know if I saw you or if I saw Dana.
That's true. And I guess I don't know if I saw you or Ward, the president of the Academy. The Academy Awards, I should say.
I mean, it's funny how, I guess, both creative and not creative they were with the dude's name. It's like Ward winner.
Well, I feel like they do play on words a lot in these packs that I end up getting. Like Dylan's character last night was Jada Broken because his career is like broken down. There was a couple other ones I feel like were very on the nose. I'm forgetting. Yeah, but whatever. I feel like to set this up a little more though. Yeah, Pop Princess, because I guess she's Pop Princess. But Laura and I, well, for my birthday the last.
That's not even a play on words.
Not really, no. For my birthday the past few years, I've been doing murder mystery parties where you basically buy a little pack online, and then you assign out characters to all your friends. They come to the party in character, dressed up, and then you kind of play out a murder scenario. And there's always these fun themes. So this year, the theme was sort of like a post-Oscars bash with a bunch of A-listers in Hollywood. And Laura played the president of the Academy Awards, Ward winner. And I played Dana Darling, who was sort of like a sort of Glenn Close, you could say, like a sort of Demi Moore, you could say, like someone who's been in the industry, actually more aligned with Glenn Close, I would say, or like a but see, Meryl Streep wins, right? She always wins.
She does win. She's a winner.
Because the thing with my character is that she's been in the industry forever.
She doesn't win.
She clearly has a lot of talent, and she's been nominated for 15. She's been nominated 15 times for Best Actress and has never won. And so that was like the premise for my character. And of course, everyone has like all sorts of different dramas going on. But yeah, actually, Laura, I feel like, and again, when I assign these characters, I actually don't know how much drama I'll actually have with particular characters. I just sort of assign them based on a vibe. Oh. But I feel like me and you, we ended up having quite a lot of drama.
Oh, yeah, kind of.
Like, I mean, basically my character was pissed at you because from at least...
I didn't get you to win.
Right, because from what I can tell, or from what I knew, your character had struck a deal with me to basically secure my win this year, and then you betrayed me. You, like, went behind my back. And I guess...
Oh, I didn't catch that.
Well, at least that's what my sheet was saying, so I don't know if maybe that's just what I perceived to happen. But because you had an affair, right? Like you.
Yeah, I had an affair with Angel of some kind.
Right. Mm-hmm. And I was pissed about that. I was pissed that you basically like went with a love interest over true talent, which is me, of course.
Well, being that I guess The idea being that I, as the president of the United States of
Of America.
Academy Awards, basically rigged the whole thing, and I'm the one who ultimately chooses who wins and whatnot.
You do. Well, because my character was aware that every time someone won, it's always the person that you cast the vote for. Meaning, essentially, I knew that it was rigged and that you were the only one I actually needed to win the favor of. So, but I didn't win. I didn't win last night at the Academy Awards. It was quite devastating for Dana Darling / Dominic.
Well, no one won because someone died.
That's true.
Everyone lost.
Yeah. Well, I guess certain people almost got away with it, in a sense. Yeah.
Yeah. It was a fun little bop.
It was a fun little bop. Have you seen the pictures that I already shared on Instagram?
I have, yes.
You have?
I believe
good,
I have,
good.
yeah.
I was going to put up a few here, actually, just to sort of give people a quick little idea. I mean, you're not going to, see them live as I'm sharing them.
Okay.
But, they'll be up. They'll be up for people. But, yeah, these were some of the looks. I'll just kind of, briefly go through them. Let me see here. Let me make sure this is placed correctly.
I was supposed to be playing a dude, by the way, in case anyone's wondering.
Right, yeah. There's a couple of my other people who were there. That's Josh, who you may know as my boyfriend. Let's see. We'll brief these. Here's
Josh is the bearded lady.
Josh was the bearded lady, yeah. This is Adam and Dylan playing their parts there. Here's Laura. There's Laura making a little appearance on the side there.
Where? Oh, I didn't see it.
It's gonna be delayed for you.
Right.
But yeah, as you can see, Laura there, she is playing the Academy of the president of the Academy, award winner. There she is, in all her glory.
Oh dear.
I feel like you didn't end up getting a lot of pictures, actually.
Not my best look.
Not your best look. Well, I thought it was pretty funny.
Okay.
I thought it was pretty funny.
Oh, okay, good. Okay,
Yeah,
good.
we had the director in the background there, Liz. Here's Ginger. I mean, it was fun. It was just a fun time. Here's my friend Wilfred, playing Angel Wood. The list goes on and on and on. I'll just kind of show these, and that's that. I feel like I should probably show me last. We'll wrap it up with me, of course. Where am I, actually? Where's my picture? There's another fun picture of some Oscars being on some boobs there. Okay, so this is me. This is Dana Darling. There I am. I chose to not shave my mustache. I just thought, you know what, Dana Darling, she has a mustache. What can I say? So there I am. There's my dress. Those are my gloves. That's my hair. Any questions, comments, concerns? Forward them to the president of the Academy. Anywho. But yeah, it was a fun time. I had a blast.
I'm so glad you had a happy birthday.
Yeah, I feel like my voice is a little hoarse right now from all of the hooting and hollering. But I've been absolutely.
How was your birthday cake?
Oh, the cake.
I had to leave before the cake happened.
Yeah, it was good. Well, you left. Actually, a lot of people left before the cake because we totally forgot about it until the very end of the night. We probably ended up having it sometime past midnight when there was 6 people left. Because we were like, oh shit, the cake.
Right.
But it was good.
I realized I forgot about it right as I was in my car driving home. I was like, oh man, I forgot there was a cake. I should have stayed for that. Oh, well.
You could have been the one to remind us all that there was cake. I feel like you can be that reminder sometimes,
Right.
I feel like you often don't forget a dessert. If the dessert is on the table, you don't forget it.
I do enjoy a dessert.
Yeah.
As do I. The one I had tonight.
What was that? What did you have?
I had what was known as chocolate showers ice cream.
Oh.
By what appears to be the Farmer Joe brand, but it's actually from the ice cream company called Lord's. Lord's? Or something like that?
Lord.
You know Lord's?
Yeah.
You know Lord?
I'm waiting for it. That green light. I want it. That one?
No.
Oh, sorry.
Oh god. You've never been to Lord's Ice Cream?
She has an ice cream store? That's crazy. Oh my god. Is it in Berkeley or does she?
First of all, what even happened to Lord?
She's still around. She's apparently supposed to be working on some fourth album, as they say.
Fourth album is a. It's not really number 4. It's
It
like
is her
something
fourth
else.
album. I think it's her fourth. I didn't even listen to the third, to be honest.
No, I just felt like she's not really. I don't know. She's not around these days. It seems like I don't know.
Well,
Maybe-
I think
maybe
she's
I'm just
probably.
not aware.
I think her third album was a bit of a flop. Her first two were both big. Third was a flop, and now she's working on her fourth, which I feel like once it gets announced, she'll be back in some kind of way in your consciousness or subconsciousness or in your dreams or whatever. Anyway,
Right.
sorry, Lord's Ice Cream. You were saying.
Oh, it's just very good. It's
Okay.
funny that they call it chocolate showers though, because it makes you think it's like some sort of poo spray or something.
Yeah, definitely. Wait, why do they
But
call
it's
it
actually
that?
really because it's vanilla ice cream with just sort of showers of chocolate chips in it.
So it's chocolate chip.
Well, it's not just a chocolate chip. It's a sort of a chocolate shaving of sorts.
Okay, but
It's a way better than a chocolate chip.
okay, but you're telling me that it's ice cream with chocolate shavings in it?
Yeah.
Or vanilla ice cream with chocolate shavings in it?
I'm telling you that, yeah.
And then you're also telling me it's not chocolate chip.
I am telling you that, yes.
So I feel like something isn't adding up.
It's a chocolate shower.
Okay.
It's showered with a chocolate sort of blast
Of chips.
of chip. But
A
not in a chip form. Not in a chip form. It's more of a chocolate shred.
But see, riddle me this though, because I feel like I feel like I have chocolate chips, in my years, where sometimes they are chip format, but then sometimes
yeah,
they're
you
also
don't want a
flake
chip.
format, and sometimes
I
they're
love a
also
flake.
sometimes they're also just sort of like a confetti format. Like I feel like chocolate chip can take
Not
many.
confetti.
Very
flake.
thin flakes.
It's a thin flake of sort of shower.
That's called chocolate chip.
A shower of thin flakes is what I would describe it as.
I would still call that chocolate chip, but okay.
But it's sort of woven throughout.
Well, I would feel like if you're saying woven, if you're saying slipping,
I don't make the rules here, buddy. They just call it that. I don't know why.
I just feel like if it's gonna be that, then it should be like a ribbon of chocolate,
No, it's not a ribbon because a
maybe it
ribbon
should be.
implies a fudge of sorts.
Yes.
And I do not like a fudge. No, get that out of here.
But what if
fudge?
what about a caramel ribbon?
What?
Give me a drill bit.
No, I don't have one.
Oh,
Okay, you gotta go.
screw in some screws.
Okay, go have fun. Have a good time.
Oh,
Go check your toolbox.
Do some toolbox.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I don't have any drill bits in there.
Well, Anton knows where they are. Close the door. Close the door. Close the door. See ya.
Weird Artifact says.
Oh, God.
Weird Artifact says chocolate chips get too frozen and hard and don't fully incorporate with the cream.
I agree.
I agree.
That's why I would certainly not refer to what I had tonight as a chip.
Yes, no, I also don't like a
They were
very
fully-
thick chip.
No, nobody likes a thick chip. It's all wrong.
But I would still personally call what you had chocolate chip, but it's fine if you don't want
But
to
you know what I do miss and wish was still available, but is unfortunately not available at the moment to me?
What?
The Thrifty's ice cream.
Oh my god, I love a Thrifty's.
I love a Thrifty's
the-
ice cream,
the-
a cylindrical
the-
cone. A cylindrical.
Well, you were just
cylindrical-
taking the words out of my mouth. I could no
Yes,
longer
know.
say
I know
them.
you. I know you really wanted to.
I could no longer say them, unfortunately.
But fact is, man, Rite Aid is really going down. Let me tell you, they don't want anyone to know, but it is. They ain't kidding nobody at this point. Okay, I've been going there since motherfucking October or Augusto or Julio,
Uh-huh.
aka July, and motherfuckers don't have nothing on their shelves. Okay, I asked them, why is there nothing available in this store? I said, are you guys going out of business? They said, no. Oh, I think I talked
No, the
about
rumor.
this.
No, I don't know where you heard that from.
No, I just realized I talked about this on the Chicken Coop last week, and I kind of said the same thing.
Oh, really?
But they were very offended by the fact that I asked them if they were going about. It seemed like they were really on edge about wanting to admit to anything. And they were like, "No, we are not going out of business." And I was like, "Well, when are you guys gonna get stuff in? They're like, we're restocking right now. Don't worry about it. And so at that time, they did have the ice cream counter available. So I thought, all right, well, whatever. I'm gonna get myself an ice cream cone with a cylindrical dip.
Wait, let me ask you this: was someone actually manning it, or did you have to call someone over?
Oh, I always have to call somebody over.
Exactly. But you know what? When I was a little boy,
They always
someone
had
was
another
manning
person.
it.
No, they did have this, I hate to say it, but pedophilia-ish kind of person manning the one that I used to go to.
God.
It was a very weird situation now that I look back on it. This guy would be like, and this happened to me. I would go up to the ice cream counter and I'd be like, he's like, do you want to try a sample of a flavor? And I'd be like, okay. And it'd be like me and my brother, me and my friend. And he'd be like, what flavor do you want to try? And I'd be like, mint and chip. And then he'd put a mint and chip on one side of those little tiny freaking double-sided wooden spoons. He'd put a mint and chip on one side, and then he'd put like some other flavor. And he's like, now you're going to eat your flavor, and I'm going to eat mine. And it would be like we'd be having to eat off of that spoon together, and our faces would be really close. Yeah.
Oh, God. Wait,
It happened to me.
Wait, a double...
And I did
actually
it because I was
know.
like, I didn't want to be rude, but did feel very awkward about it. And he's like, good job. And it was just very freaking weird. Looking back, I'm like, that guy was off his rocker.
Wow.
I mean, that is inappropriate, right? Totally inappropriate.
Wait, I'm not familiar with the double
those
sample
little wooden
scoop.
sort of... Yeah, okay. Remember those little wooden spoons? It was like a spoon on both ends. It's just a wooden flat, like, it looks like a doctor's office kind of thing.
I mean, I can picture it, but like, yeah, I have never seen those.
It's like a double-sided wooden spoon. What can I say?
That's crazy.
They were Marshy's like, oh, gross, call the police.
I mean, yeah.
That was like jail.
Yes. Well, like,
I mean,
that,
all right,
that's like, it's pretty...
It was pretty not
suspicious,
cool.
and basically, yeah, I would say call the police.
Well,
indeed.
looking back on it, I'm like, okay, that guy was definitely something up, And he also was off, too, in a sense. Like, there was something off about him, for sure. But he was extremely friendly to kids in a way that was... I mean, I hate to be the, bearer of, talking crap about those who are friendly towards kids, but it just was like to a point that was inappropriate.
Well, there's a vibe, and if he had that vibe, then I don't think it's inappropriate to say he had that vibe.
I'm not saying I ever saw him. I don't know for a fact that he like actually molested a kid, but that was the energy. Yeah, for sure.
I don't think it's normal to be like, let's eat off the same spoon, little child.
He was like, let's race.
Oh boy. But anywho, I do love the cylindrical
I
scoops.
immediately afterwards knew that it was wrong. I was like, oh, that was not right. Yeah, that shouldn't have done that. But anyways,
But that's all to say, like,
that's all
I
to
agree.
say the ice cream was great.
And they do need to get their act together. Rite Aid is over.
What is it about their ice cream that's so good? There's something about it that is different, don't you think?
Yes, and it's not
Something
that
about
it's
it.
actually it's not that it's actually like of a high quality. It's
No,
actually
not
of a
high
low
quality,
quality in a
but
great
it's
way.
something in a great way. Yeah, there's
Yes.
something about it that is different.
It's like kind of like the best low quality ice cream that you could, and a uniquely
There's
bad.
a kind of almost like dry ice, like marshmallow type quality to
Yeah,
it or something.
it's basically
You know
like
what I mean?
it lacks flavor in a sort of fun way.
No, it doesn't quite lack flavor. It just has its own flavor.
Well, it lacks a punch though, don't you think? Like you're never getting one of those Rite Aids and your Rite Aid Thrifties ice creams. You're never getting one of them and just be like, bam! Like you're not like blasted in the face with flavor. It's kind of
Well,
like
I
a
mean-
subtle, like milky sort of something.
I feel I'm getting blasted in the face with just the right flavor that I want. You know what I mean?
Well, I agree, but I'm just saying
It's the
like,
exact flavor.
oh yeah, it's what you want from the Thrifties, but it ain't like, I don't know. Like I'm thinking of I guess it's more like it's not super rich. Like Baskin and Robbins, I would say is still on like the kind of shittier end of ice cream, but like very rich. It's like a very rich flavor. You know?
Well, it's not too sweet.
Baskin Robbins? I think Baskin Robbins is very sweet.
I'm saying Rite Aid. I mean,
Yes.
Thrifties is not too sweet.
Yes.
No, it's perfectly not too sweet.
We're on the same page here.
Yeah, and I actually do enjoy the eat it all a cone ice cream
The
cone.
eat it all a cone. What?
Eat it all cake cone, just the regular old ice cream cone.
I like that as a name. The eat it all a cone.
what I'm talking
Like
about.
as one word.
No,
Eat
it
it
says
all,
eat it
cone.
all. It says eat it all on it.
Oh,
Eat
really?
it all. Yes. Oh my God. Hello.
Is there paper? Can you eat the paper?
Yes, there's paper. You cannot eat the paper.
So you can't eat it
So
all.
it's a bit of a lie.
That's
No,
yeah.
but anyway.
Anyway.
Yeah, Rite Aid, they say they're not going out of business. I think they might be. I don't know. I hope not. But what I was getting at was that they've closed the ice cream counter down at my local Rite Aid. It's been closed since frickin' August. And they keep saying, like, oh, yeah, it'll be back in session next week. You know, we called the guy to get the hot water going, and we just needed to get service. They're lying to me. They're simply lying. It's like, this has been going on since August, motherfucking February up here. You know what I mean? It's like
It's done,
it's been a sick month.
It's done.
So what's gonna happen? What are they doing? And also the shelves there are not getting restocked in any hardcore way.
Right.
Now I did look it up. They did They did declare bankruptcy.
Rite Aid?
Yes, at some point in 2024, but then they got rebought by some privatized something or other. And I don't know who or what that was about, but it did happen, and I don't know what it means for us little folk, but I do hope they get the damn ice cream counter back.
You're going deep into the southern accent today.
I don't know why.
You're feeling especially southern?
I guess. Anyway, I just really want that ice cream counter back, you know what I mean?
I agree.
As I eat this Lord's ice cream from Farmer Joe's, I think to myself, this is good, but it's no Thrifties.
Yeah. I personally really lament the loss of Three Twins ice cream in San Francisco.
Oh, I mean, that was fine.
Oh, come on. It was more than fine. It was
I used to
cream
go there
of
with
the
my
crop.
brothers. I used to go there with my twin brothers, and they would say that we were the three twins because it looked like me, and then the two.
Wait, they
their
had
logo
an
had
actual
a
store?
girl. Yeah, you didn't know that?
I always just got it in like the local,
Oh.
corner markets and whatnot.
No, they had totally was a store,
Oh.
an actual storefront. No, on Valencia, I believe it was. Yeah,
All right.
for sure.
Damn. I never did do that, but
Oh boy, you're not old school, I guess. Gemma, yes, Rite Aid is a pharmacy, but also a drugstore that has a ice cream counter at it. Yeah.
yeah. It's like definitely just a pharmacy with some
It's like
groceries.
Walgreens.
Yeah,
It's
it's
like
like
Walgreens,
it's like
but it
Walgreens, and then
has-
all of a sudden
They have an ice cream counter.
for it really there's no logical reason why they should have ice cream, but they
Yes,
just
there
do.
is. They always have. It's always been there ever since I was the beginning of time.
Well, I know it seems
I think
obvious
that
to
most-
us.
I feel like most drugstores should have that. I don't know why they don't.
I know, but it is kind of an anomaly that a drugstore would have ice cream. It kind of makes no sense, but there's something beautiful about it for that reason.
To me, it makes perfect sense.
You're like, "Oh, I'm so sick, I gotta make sure I get some cold medicine and Thrifty's ice cream.
Well, yeah.
Like, it doesn't really make sense, because I feel like you would be going there for health. And I
True,
feel like...
but then it's like, well, why does any, CVS, Walgreens, or any of the above sell, Easter baskets and Easter dyeing kits and,
Look, I get it.
birthday cake candles and balloons. They got it all.
I feel like ultimately it's because they needed to survive, and they couldn't survive off of medicine alone.
But they didn't have just medicine alone. They never did. They had all kinds of other gunk.
I suppose. But maybe when they started in the 1850s, they were
The
just...
1850s. They didn't start then. I think they started in the 1950s, actually.
I know. It's just
Maybe.
But just imagine if they did, Maybe back
Right.
then they would have just sold, wormswort or whatever they would have sold back then.
Wormswort. Mugwort and wormwood.
Yeah, whatever. Some witch's
s-
brews and whatnot.
Some sort of
What would
rose
Walgreens...
hips and
Yeah.
something or other.
What would Walgreens have served back in the 1800s?
They definitely would have served like Victorian makeup, such as, powders and lipsticks that were kind of cool, probably looking.
Mm-hmm.
Perfumes and women's products, I would imagine.
Yeah.
I don't know. You should look up Victorian toiletries, and it's kind of interesting the stuff that they had back then.
Victorian toiletries.
Well, they would come in much fancier types of containers, I'll tell you that much. They were built to last.
Huh. I mean, I
Does
guess I'm just sort of
Walgreens
seeing
serve
stuff.
cake? I mean, they have, like Little Debbie's kind of cakes, zebra cake or little ho-hos and stuff like that, if you consider that cake. Sure.
Well, yeah, I feel like they don't really serve cakes though, per
They
se.
don't serve a cake, but they have little cakes, if you consider a ho-ho or a donut a cake or a ding-dong.
Well, I mean, yeah, like they have little desserty. They have basically like
They have little treats and things
yeah,
like that.
they got your classics, the M&Ms and
Your
the
classic
you know
ho-ho type things.
yeah. They got your knickknacks of treats.
They
But
got your hostess type crap.
but it is shocking that they have a full on ice cream bar. It's not even just like they have some ice cream in the freezer that you just pull out.
They have that too, though.
They have that too, but
Oh, you could get Thrifty's ice cream in the freezer section, I do believe, of Rite Aid.
I
But
don't think you
if
should do that.
is- I know it's not going to be anywhere near as good. We both know that.
No, it's just not going to work.
No, it ain't going to work.
It has to be served.
And you have to have
By a
that
person.
cylindrical, and you need the cylindrical scoop.
You really need the cylindrical. I actually feel like without the cylindrical scoop,
It's
what
not
would
gonna
you
taste
even
good.
have
No,
left?
you're not even going to have anything. You're getting nothing.
You're getting a eat it all cone and that's it.
Yeah, you got to eat it all cone cake. You eat it all a cone. No, but to be honest, I wonder if one could order a cylindrical scoop.
Oh, well, yeah, but surely, right? I mean,
I wonder if the cylindrical
I wonder
scoop does make it taste a certain way. You know what I mean?
I wonder if they made like a trademark. Maybe that's like the last thing they're clinging on to is that they like got the rights to a cylindrical scoop and they're like not letting them go. And maybe that's why they have to keep the ice cream parlor going, because the second that goes out of business or they stop doing it, like they would have to release.
Doesn't have the access to
Uh-oh.
the drill bit.
What? Okay, hold on. Get off of there. Get off. Uh-oh. Sorry, hold on.
No problem. I'm looking up cylindrical scooper here. Just to see. Oh my god, they sell it. They sell this shit. Hey everybody, it's just me and you. Let me see if I can get this on the screen actually. I have found a cylindrical scooper. They have some of these here. I mean, this is literally the Thrifty's ice cream scooper. I mean, it's branded as such. So for Gemma and other parties interested, this is what we're talking about here. They plug this shit down, and they just
Uh-oh.
fling it up.
Oh, sorry.
I am hearing
Hi,
myself double,
I'm
but
here.
yeah,
Sorry about that.
that's all right. I found some cylindrical scoopers here.
I would get one. I was just thinking if I use a cylindrical scoop on the ice cream that I have tonight from Lord, I think it could actually pass as a Rite Aid, as a Thrifty's ice cream, potentially. I feel like it could taste like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean it might.
I almost feel like I could believe that it was.
Just because it was a cylindrical scoop.
Yeah.
And wait, so are you saying that this
me look up.
that Lord's ice cream has a similar flavor to the Thrifties?
I think it kind of does, yeah, to be quite frank.
Okay. Well, now I want to try Lord's ice cream whenever she's done making her 4th album.
Well, you should, call her up and say, what's up?
Yeah. She was actually.
Oh my God, there is a Thrifty old-time ice cream scooper.
I literally just had it on the screen and we were talking all
Wow.
about it in a sort of solo way as you were gone.
Oh my God.
You should definitely order
I can't
that.
believe it. It's $26.99. That is a bit much for an ice cream scoop, don't you think? Oh, here's one that's only $9.99
But-
and it's not by Thrifties.
Right, but it's almost like
You kind of want to
you
get
kind of want to
Thrifties.
get the Thrifties. I mean, it's
No,
the
but frankly,
one.
honestly, no. But it's like this other one looks exactly the same. It just doesn't have the Thrifties logo on it.
Right.
I mean, it's probably the same. I don't know. Maybe not. Wow. Oh my God, this is hilarious. I'm looking at this one. The brand is
Wait, did you just?
it's by BVDFGK.
Oh yeah, I see it. No, I see
Wish
it.
I could show it to the people.
I have
here.
it up.
Can you see this?
I have it
But
up.
first of all, do you know what's hilarious about this? I'm looking at it. I was just scrolling through the photos and look at the picture that they're showing. They're putting an ice cream scoop on a slice of bread. Who does that?
Oh my god.
I mean, it's not a terrible idea, but it's just kind of like, what are you thinking here, people? Oh my god. And what else they're showing is it actually looks really wrong for them to put the cylindrical scoop on a cone-shaped cone.
Wait,
Such
what?
as that. That don't look right, do it?
A-
Do you see what I'm saying? See how it's cone-shaped cone?
What do you mean a cone-shaped cone?
Like a cone-shaped cone.
Because because that wouldn't
yeah,
be the classic.
No, the classic is this. Right?
Yeah. No, definitely. Yeah.
But I mean, a cone-shaped cone, no one does that with a cylindrical scoop.
Right. I guess you really gotta.
this.
It's a big investment if you really want the
Doesn't
full
quite
riding
work with
experience. It looks stupid, is what it does.
It just looks not correct. It's not thrifty.
It
oh my
it
God,
looks
this is
just a
hilarious.
little
Look
dumb.
at this.
It looks.
What are they doing here? What is this? It's a peanut butter and jelly sandwich with an ice cream scoop in the middle of the peanut butter and jelly, I guess. What?
Is that supposed to be butter? Maybe.
What, like that they scooped the butter out with a giant cylinder of butter.
Maybe
was needed
someone
for
wants-
one slice of bread. No.
Basically, yeah. I'm thinking like maybe someone just wants like what more or less amounts to an entire stick of butter onto their bread, but they don't want to just put
ice
the whole
cream
stick
though.
of butter.
It's like, oh, I really would love a scoop of vanilla ice cream in between the peanut butter and jelly on my thin slice of bread where it will melt through.
That is fucking nasty.
I would love a soggy piece of bread with a giant scoop of ice cream souring in the middle. Can I get that?
That's pretty fucking nasty. But I guess something similar though
that's cool.
would be like a French toast though. Not saying that involves ice cream, but I could see like a French toast, small amount of like a small amount of ice cream.
Absolute. Look at, I would love an ice cream scoop on a breakfast sort of bread.
Oh.
But I mean, who has an ice cream scoop on their sandwich?
Right, yeah, like you just make a salami sandwich and then you're like, you know what
Like,
this needs?
Imagine you just like walk into the kitchen on your roommate or whatever, and then just making some breakfast. And you're like, oh, what are you making? Oh, I'm just having some 2 slices of bread with ice cream. I'm just gonna go hit the hay after. Don't mind me. You're like, wait, what?
They're like spreading the mustard on one side.
First you're like, oh, right on, and then you're like, wait, what a minute, what?
What?
You do a double take, and you're like, this person is making an ice cream sandwich.
Right.
That's what they're doing. They're making an ice cream.
They are making it.
Wait a minute. You know what I'm thinking? I mean, I don't know. I could be wrong, but whoever made this ice cream scoop may not have understood what ice cream sandwich actually meant.
Wait, actually, I think Marshy is onto something. Marshy said AI confused by ice cream sandwich.
Right,
it could
exactly.
It could be
That's
AI
what I'm thinking.
creating this
something.
image. They're like,
Could be.
is this what you mean, human?
Right.
Ice cream sandwich?
That's exactly it. I'm like, that is one of the answers to that.
Yeah,
That's pretty
Marshy, I
funny.
think you're right.
Oh my god, that's hilarious. I'm not seeing Marshy's comment here, but yeah.
It's a little higher up. It's still up on the screen though, unlike the live screen.
Oh man, that's interesting. It is an AI flop, wouldn't you say?
I would
It's a
say
bit of
so.
An AI
It's-
glitch, I guess.
It's just yet another reminder
It's
that
just not quite there. We're
there's
not quite
certain
there.
there's certain even ways that humans will say something that it's like AI just can't get the inflection, like sometimes the sarcasm perhaps, or sometimes there's like the essence of humans, that it just can't quite comprehend.
Well, you know what I was hearing about those self-driving cars?
Uh-oh.
My brother went in one the other night, and
I don't
he
do
said that. Well, you've been in one once, right?
Never
Have
ever.
we not? Oh, really? And you never will? Yes,
It's sort of a protest. It's sort of a protest, so I don't think I will.
You're gonna go in one at some point. You know you will.
I don't think I would choose to. I would only go in one if like I needed to, because like a job ordered me one and like didn't give me a choice or something. But I would never
anyway.
choose. Anyways, go on.
But he said that the car was kind of driving aggressively, like in the way a human would. It wasn't just doing everything by the rules. It was kind of swerving around cars and trying to kind of speed up. And I heard it's because the way that each one drives is based on how the driver that trained the car would drive.
Well, I think
So
it's
they kind of get trained by a driver.
Well, I definitely think at least in San Francisco too, like in San Francisco you can't really just always follow by the book the rules because I mean if you live in San Francisco you already know that like there's just a lot of times where someone's like double parked and so you just make the judgment call like I'm going to go around this person right now because no one's coming. Like there's just lots of like you bend the rules a little bit because you just got to get by. It's, you know, these streets they're loaded. They're loaded up with cars and people and whatnot.
Oh my gosh, Valencia's horrible now.
It's fucked up. Oh, by the way, they're getting rid of that stupid. This is like inside baseball, but they're getting rid of that stupid bike lane that's in the middle of Valencia.
Yeah.
That really fucked up Valencia. I don't know if you've been on Valencia in the last like 6 months. Surely you have, but like, they put this huge bike lane in the middle of the road, and Valencia, for those who don't know, it's in the Mission, used to be two lanes of cars going both directions because it's a pretty big. It's like kind of like a bigger, you know, street full of markets and whatnot and like venues and anyways, it used to be two lanes each way of traffic, and then this fucking bike lane destroyed a lane on each side. So now this entire fucking street is just one way, one lane of each way, and then a huge bike lane where like honestly 3 bikes could be. And yet there's never even like one bike. So it looks ridiculous.
Well, that's not the other issue is that they just don't let you park on Valencia anywhere anymore. It's crazy. Like there's nowhere to park on there. Have you noticed?
Well, you can park, and then they recently changed how it works. Where now, I'm not even exaggerating. I think there are times where it's like $8 an hour to park on Valencia. Like they have this. It's like by certain time frames the rates change. So sometimes you could probably be on there for like $2 an hour or something. But in like peak hours, which is so nasty. Right. It's like you'll be paying $8 an hour. It's fucking crazy. It's like obviously no one would do that. It's nasty.
But people would do it.
People do it, I guess, because you know they got like Teslas, and so what do they care? But
no, but I mean, it really. So you think it's easier to park on Valencia? Because last time I was there, it was just totally not available. Like nothing. All of the parking spots were just not allowed. You're not allowed to park there. It was red or some, you know, they just made it so hard.
Oh.
And it just made me not want to go to Valencia anymore because I'm like, I can't park anywhere. There's nowhere to park.
Yeah.
There was nowhere to park. It's
nasty.
Too bad because, you know, the Mission was a cool place to hang out and now it's just a hassle.
Well, they are, I mean, like I said, they're getting rid of the bike lane because actually a lot of business owners on Valencia have been pissed because it's totally driven down business since they put in the bike lane. So it's actually because of business owners on Valencia that they're even getting rid of it. So it's coming back. It's coming back.
No, well, we'll see.
Yeah. Anywho.
Yeah.
But speaking of the big city, we did something else in the big city recently, and that's our show. I don't think we've debriefed that on this show.
Right. Brief it.
Well, Foxtails Brigade. Maybe some of you were there, but Foxtails Brigade played at the Independent. I guess now it amounts to almost a week and a half ago.
No,
but,
it was a week and 2 days ago.
I know. Well, I mean, a week and 3 days ago would be a week and a half. So.
A week and 3.5 days would actually technically be a week and a half.
Well, a week and 3 days. Anyways, it was a blast. It was a great time. I don't know. I just thought it was fun. Me and Laura, we made we painted some shit red, put it on stage. Laura had a cool painting she had already made that we put up on stage. We had a couple girls come out that were dressed up in the outfits from My Favorite Things music video. If you've seen the music video, you might remember that there's a moment where these two twins are sitting at a table with red faces and long blonde hair in sort of like a white dress. So we had them come out for My Favorite Things. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It was fun. It was a fun little time, I thought.
I agree. I would have to agree.
A fun one.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Great.
That's all I had to say,
it.
really.
Yeah, no, I mean, I loved it. I'm so happy that it happened, and let's do more.
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, we should mention too that that was our album release show, but the album's not out. It's the album release show for those who were there.
Hmm.
But the album is actually coming out. What is it? April 4th? You said.
It's coming out on April 4th. That's right. But
Wow.
we're gonna release. We've released one of the singles from the album, which is called Two Forces, and go check that out.
Yeah.
But there's also going to be a couple other singles that come out prior to the album coming out. So,
Oh damn! Really?
and people will very soon be able to pre-order the CD, or you can. I think that people might be able to order the CD online even within the next week. And then if you do order the CD, you'll not only get the CD, but you will get early access to the digital streaming. So
Hell yeah.
there you go.
Weird Artifact said, add a line about cylindrical scooped ice cream into my favorite things.
Cylindrical scooped ice cream and something. No. These are a few of my favorite scoops.
My thriftiest scoops.
No, raindrops on roses and cylindrical scooped ice cream.
Mm.
Bright copper kettles and scoop, 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 scoop screams. I don't know.
Very good.
Thank you.
Gorgeous lyricism right there.
Thank you so much. Thank
From
you.
the one
I'm
and
an
only.
artist.
Yeah.
I'm an
Laura
artist. I do work for hire.
If you're looking for
It's
some writing.
It's pretty rare that I work for less than my full rate, but if you can afford it, book me. I'm available.
I was also going to mention too that I've been diving back into Twin Peaks, which has been really fun. Since David Lynch, as we all know, passed away a couple weeks ago, which is very sad. But I feel like since then, I've taken the opportunity to go back. Well, for one, Josh has never seen Twin Peaks at all, so he's watching it for the first time, and then I'm watching it for the second time. And actually, I never finished season 2, so eventually we'll be getting into some territory that I also haven't seen. I skipped through it because honestly, I feel like season 2 drops off. But you know, that show's real fun. It's real good. What are your? I actually don't know. Where do you stand on the original seasons?
I watched the whole series, front to back in one sitting when I was like 18.
Wow.
So that's the only time I've watched it, really, honestly. I mean, I might have watched a few episodes again, I might have revisited it like later on in life, but I loved it at the time. Maybe I was 19. There was just a phase of my life where
You watched
all I
two
did,
seasons at once.
well, okay, it was a time in my life where I truly did not leave the house. I wasn't leaving the house. I was just staying home. I didn't have a lot of friends. I pretty much didn't have any friends at the time. And I just was very kind of like much a loner at the time. And all I did was watch movies. I would eat my meals and then I would just watch movies and then go to sleep or not sleep very much. I'd stay up pretty late. And so I would just wake up and start watching. And so somehow I got my hands on the box set. I think a guy from I did have a job at the time delivering pizza. So I think I was talking to one of the guys at my work and he let me borrow his box set of Twin Peaks.
Nice.
And so I remember just being at home and watching just episode after episode back to back on VHS in my room on a small TV that I brought into my room because I didn't actually have a real TV. I didn't have a permanent TV, but I was allowed to take the one in the kitchen into my room every once in a while. And so I did that, and I really liked it. And my brother was very encouraging of that at the time. I remember. He was like, "Oh, what episode are you on? Oh yeah, watch this." And he really wanted me to watch it by myself
Because he thought it was scary.
Yeah, and then he was like, "When you're done watching the series, you can watch Fire Walk with Me, and you got to watch it all alone in the living room at night."
Yep.
Because he said that.
Well,
was what he
that's
did.
like some of the scariest content of the entire series. Fire Walk with Me.
Right. Well, he was like, I remember he just thought that it was so scary to watch that movie in our living room because our living room has like windows on either side, so it just feels like anything could be watching you, And that was what he did when he watched it, and he said it was just so freaky, But did I do that by myself? No, I didn't. I don't think I watched it by myself. I think I watched it with one of my elementary school friends who was happened to be over that night. But anyways, I watched the whole series in my bedroom, and yeah, it was like over the course of 3 or 4 days. And yeah, I mean, I was hooked on it. I really liked it at the time. I feel like maybe I didn't have as discerning of a viewpoint at that point.
I mean, I'm watching it now, and I feel like it's still pretty great. Like I think that there's low lows. There's some moments where it's pretty boring, to be quite frank. But I also think that people do overestimate how involved Lynch actually was in the show. Like, he only directs like 7 of the episodes of like the 30 episodes in the first 2 seasons.
Right.
So, and granted, of course, he did co-create the show. Like, he set all this up. Like, he helped make the characters. He helped make the setting. Of course, like, it's his vision in the beginning, but many directors were kind of coming in and out to, take over, the events of the week. And I do think that you can feel it when he's not, like, his episodes are clearly the best. Every time you see, like, directed by David Lynch in the beginning of the episode, it's almost like you just kind of know, like, oh, this is going to be a good one. And it is every time. So yeah, like, it's really great. I do think that there are episodes that are kind of flops, but it's just like fun regardless. Like, it's just kind of like at its worst, it's still kind of just like cozy soap opera fun,
Well, yeah. No, I mean, I like it. But yeah, I what I meant by not having a discerning eyes, I probably didn't mind the really bad episodes when I was 18.
Yeah.
Because I was just watching, I just kind of got into it, and I was sort of addicted to it like I would be for, kind of any other show. With obviously, that there were, obviously I did agree that there were better episodes than others, though, like there were the really good ones where it was like stuff actually was happening. But
also,
what I was going to say, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I feel like a lot of people haven't even seen season 3, the newer season, that we actually, I know we at least covered like 2 episodes on Totally Tell Me back in the day, 2 or 3 episodes. But I feel like if you've seen season 1 and 2 and you really liked it, you should definitely watch season 3, in my opinion. It's sort of a PSA, because in my opinion, season 3 is maybe the best season. For me, it's the best season.
And didn't David Lynch direct every episode?
He directs every single one.
Yeah.
And he co-writes every single one with Mark Frost, the original creator, as well. Because Mark Frost and David Lynch are the creators of the original series. And they co-wrote every single episode together, and then David Lynch solely directs all 18 episodes. So it's like an 18-hour just David Lynch fuckfest, And it's really, I feel like it really pulls no punches. Like it's like, I don't know, it's extreme. It feels actually, because watching the old series, it is kind of crazy what they got away with even in the 90s. Like, there's like, you don't actually see someone shooting up heroin, but it's like heavily implied that someone just shot up heroin, like just off screen, just before the scene started, like, which I feel like is kind of a little risque for the 90s, like, or 1990.
Well, the 90s, that was peak heroin times.
Well, sure, but what I'm saying is, like, for network TV, that's pretty risque. And like to even,
I think they had it on an episode of Beverly Hills 90210.
Like, seeing someone shoot up heroin?
Maybe, yeah.
All right. Well, I guess it's not just that, though. It's also just, like, the very dark moments that sometimes happen that are, like, dark, surreal, dreamlike fantasies of, like, people being murdered or whatever. Like, it gets pretty dark. I don't know. I'm watching this, and I'm kind of like, it feels more modern than you might think if you're going back to a 1990 show.
Yeah.
Anywho,
Yeah.
I'm enjoying it.
Oh, good. That's awesome. I tried watching Inland Empire the other night. What do you think of that?
I really like it, but it took me 2 times to actually watch the whole thing.
Oh, wait, did we talk about this the other night? Oh, yeah,
we
did.
talked about it off cast.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, the first
Oh,
time
no,
I
yeah.
tried to watch it, I started it too late, and I just fell asleep. It's pretty
Right.
long, and I
Uh-huh.
was not into the visual look of it, and I just at that time was not as much of a David Lynch fan. Like I didn't really know his style, and I
Hmm.
was kind of like, I'm not vibing with this movie. But I returned to it a few years ago when I basically watched his entire filmography again,
Mm-hmm.
and watching it then amongst all of his other films, I think it's great. Actually, I think it's actually got like a lot of cool stuff in there.
Hmm. All right.
It's worth checking out.
Yeah.
It's got some moments, and like I would say, the ending. There's like some moments in the ending that are some of the most memorable parts of the entire movie.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. Did you not finish it or something?
I did not.
You should try and finish it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Laura Dern has a pretty cool moment at the end.
No, cool. All right. Well,
Anywho.
what do you think? Should we jump into the old?
Yeah, yeah. I do believe so. So we also review
Whatever
movies.
this movie's called.
Right.
Yeah.
We also review movies on this podcast, and today's movie is The Brutalist, a brand new period drama that is directed by Brady Corbet. He also co-wrote the screenplay with Mona Fastvold. Excuse me. The film stars Adrien Brody as a Hungarian Jewish Holocaust survivor who immigrates to the United States, and I guess generally he's pursuing architecture. He's an architect. He's coming here to try and move his career forward. He's kind of starting from nothing, and you kind of are just following him on this, on over a long period of his life, I would say, or a couple different periods of his life, in his career as an architect coming to America for the first time. Sorry, I have a little bit of a cough. But this film is up for some Oscars. It's getting a lot of buzz, as you could say. Let's see, it's up for Best Picture, Best Director, and Best Actor for Adrien Brody. Best Supporting Actress for Felicity Jones. And Best Supporting Actor for Guy Pearce. And it's already won Best Motion Picture in the drama category for the Golden Globes. The film, I mean, I feel like definitely something that people have been talking about with this film is that its length, which is it's 3.5 hours, and notably in theater, if you saw it in theaters, it has an intermission in it. There's like a 10-minute point where it just like allows it, at a kind of dramatic peak, you could say, it has like a 10-minute space where you can refill your popcorn and whatnot, which is I don't know.
It's not 10 minutes. It's like a few minutes.
Well,
It's maybe like 3 minutes, or at least the one I watched. It was really, really short.
you watched the screener though, right?
I did, yeah.
Because that would make sense because they know you can just pause it. Like in theaters, it was upward. It was maybe even close to 15 minutes. It was like enough time because I was like worried about time because I was like, shit, if this is only like 5 minutes, I don't even know if I can go to the bathroom because there's like a huge line. But anyways, it was like 10 minutes, maybe even a little more in theaters, and they had like a little stopwatch on the screen, which is kind of cool.
Right. There was a stopwatch on the screener too, but it wasn't very long.
Yeah, they probably just shortened it significantly because they know you can just pause it if you want more time. But yeah, so I guess that's that. Laura, what did you think of The Brutalist?
You know, it's fine. It's not like a movie I would ever watch again. No offense. It's just like whatever. I mean, it's fine, I don't need to watch that movie. It does nothing. It doesn't do much for me. No offense. I loved it.
You loved it.
No, I didn't love it, but I didn't want to be mean. I really like everybody involved.
So you didn't really like the movie that much?
Nah.
Okay.
It's just whatever. It's another one of these movies kind of thing, It's like about something that is it's okay, first of all, I don't really connect with the style of architecture, number one, and I'm sure that I'm not the only one who felt that way or feels this way.
Brutalist
I guess that's kind of
architecture
the point. Yeah,
obviously.
I'm sure that's the point of it. But and it's just kind of
Oh, the point. I don't know if it's the point.
No, I don't know if that's the point, but like the point. I mean, it's just what is the point? Is it to show one man's journey about kind of like escape from this very dire situation into a realm of success, which ultimately cost him sort of the things that he loved and the people he loved and et cetera, et cetera.
Mm-hmm.
Or and also like aspects of himself and blah blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean whatever. I don't know. It's just not like I don't need that. You know what I mean for myself. It's just not for me. I don't know. I just wasn't that into it, really. No offense.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But it was finely made. There was nothing wrong with the movie in any way. Adrien Brody's a great actor. I commend him for his his diligent work.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't really connect with this movie. It's just not for me.
Uh-huh.
What can I say? That's all else. I mean, but that's basically it. I mean, more power to those who loved it and carry on.
Sure.
You know what I mean? It's just not my kind of thing, It's not for me.
Uh-huh.
It's just like I don't care that much about that, you know what I mean?
Sure.
I
mean, yeah. And I feel like I usually say this, but I didn't say it. We aren't going to spoil the movie, so right now we're just going to talk about our kind of top level thoughts on the film. If you haven't watched the show before, we'll get into spoilers in a little bit, so we won't be talking any story details if you haven't seen the movie. Marshy asks a question that I feel like maybe we could just both answer before I get into my thoughts, which is, do the 3+ hours go by fast, or does it feel that long? What did you think on that?
I mean, I don't know, kind of long, but that's not it. If you're into this sort of thing, it probably would be fine. But it's just not for me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I don't know.
I mean,
just didn't connect with it.
Well, for me, the 3+ hours thing, because I feel like people are talking a lot about that.
Mm-hmm. I know you thought it sped by, right? You were like wanting it to keep going.
Well, I mean,
you loved it. You loved this
maybe
movie.
I should just get into it and
let
say.
me ask you, what did you think of this movie? Talk about it.
I really liked this movie. It's not without like a couple parts that I don't like, which I'll get into. But overall, I really liked it. I thought it's really well crafted. Like, it's gorgeously shot. I feel like I say this a lot, but it really is. And I really liked. Also like the soundtrack. I loved, or I should say the score. There's like a central score that I feel like is so cool. The sort of like ba-na-na-na thing that was like going on in like the opening credits, and then they kind of bring it. It's like this central little theme that happens throughout the film. I thought it was really cool and simple and like well done, and it's just like those few notes, but it's like the instruments that they're picking, the sort of tone that it's all going for. It gives this kind of epic feel to it all, which is really, I think, interesting in what is ultimately like a human drama about, like people and their lives. But I think the score actually adds a lot of heft and weight to the whole thing, feeling like it's this American epic or something,
Wait, wasn't it? I could be wrong about this, but was it not like just some famous classical piece that they were using for that?
No, this is you mean the central like da na na
The main
na?
theme? Yeah. Oh.
No, that was like there's a score up in here. No?
I thought it was a famous motif, but I could be wrong. I mean,
if it is, I didn't know that. I mean, I know that it has someone who did the score and they released that.
Okay.
Let's see. The score is by English musician Daniel Blumberg. They worked together on the film over 7 years. I mean, I'm not seeing anything about this. The overture features these instruments, but I feel like they would put this here if it was from something.
Yeah,
but I mean, honestly, I actually feel like it
sounds.
Well. You don't remember it that well?
I mean,
so
I don't
cool.
remember the music that well, to be quite honest.
My god! I mean, that central theme is so cool, and I actually think it's interesting that you say that, because I do feel like it feels like something like you hear it and you're like, man, it's so powerful and so simple that it almost feels like surely this is like a classical piece or something, but like I just feel like they hit upon something that is like in much the same as brutalist architecture, is like minimal but powerful, you know. Anywho, love the score. Yeah, I thought Adrien Brody's really good. I was actually pretty interested in the story, and it's funny that you say that you're not interested in this content, because like neither am I per se. You know, it's not like I'm you know, deeply invested in architectural drama or anything, but like I actually think it did enough to make me invested in his journey through it, because they kind of like keep you. My least favorite parts of this movie is when it got too into the weeds on the whole like construction elements, because I kind of didn't give a shit about that. But like when it was just more about like his vision and like him having this like, you know, this idea and wanting to stick to it, and like his passion for it, it's like that connects with me regardless that like the art form isn't really my art form, you know. But I just feel like it's an open enough concept where it's like, you know,
It's kind
it's
of
just
a weird
relatable.
message too, though, in a way.
How so?
Like, well, I feel like, oh, well, I don't want to give away any spoilers, so maybe I should save it for that. But it's just kind of weird how the way that they state their values at the. Well, okay, I won't say no. I'll save it for the. I'll save it for the spoilers. But it's just a little weird, and it's also funny because it's not like it's based on a true story, which it feels like it is. You know, the way that it's presented feels like it's kind of. It seems like it's a movie that's sort of, you know, based on a true story or a biopic to some degree. Not really a biopic, but you
I,
know,
I
like
kind of
it's.
liked that though.
But it's like it just almost makes it feel like I don't know. I don't know.
Well, did it
I
kind of
know, but
remind
kind
you?
of what's the point? I guess
Well,
it's
but
just wanting to.
fiction. I mean, what's the point of anything fictional if it, you know?
No, because it's just so stark and like unpleasant and well, I don't know. I mean, I guess there's a point, and maybe the point is somewhat declared by the end of the movie, which if that was the point, then I don't know. You know, whatever. It's
Right.
fine.
I mean, but wouldn't you say like Tar was also has a very similar tone of like following someone to the point that it kind of almost feels like she could be like a real figure in
No,
composition.
it yes, but I okay, I don't remember the movie that well. I remember liking Tar, and I remember liking the way that that was presented. You know, it's something about that for me was more compelling. It sort of dove a little bit more into some fantasy realms that I could connect with more. To me, like when stuff is, you know, exploratory on a more kind of abstract or subconscious level or incorporates more of that into the storytelling, I feel like more connected to that, you know, to a degree. And I think with this, it just felt like they're really trying to keep it, you know, it felt like it was trying to tell a true story in the sense that it was trying to show these kind of like just stark, kind of realistic details. You know what I mean? That, uh, but you know, I don't know. I can't explain it. I can't
I mean, I hear
remember
you.
exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Uh,
there's nothing there's nothing remotely
It's not like
fantastical in this film.
fantastical. Yeah, it's not.
But I don't know.
It's not like a work of fiction in the way that it could be more expansive. It didn't. I didn't feel like it expanded on the fiction of it that much. It was just kind of like, oh, here's a possible tale that could have happened but didn't, and like whatever. And then they have this kind of this afterword, you know, it's like given by this. Oh God, never mind. I'll save it for the spoilers. I'll talk about it later.
I don't know. I mean, um, yeah,
It's
there's
the way
nothing
that they did
fantastical,
that.
but I feel like
No, I mean it doesn't
that
have to
didn't
be
matter to
fantastical
me.
to be fiction, but I can get more into why it seems like kind of pretentious, I guess. Even though it was fiction, it felt like it seemed like it really wanted to be real. You know what I mean? In a way, to the point where it just seemed pretentious or something like that.
Hmm. I mean, I do
I'll save
think
it for
that
later.
anytime that you are trying to, I don't know, be a little bold or like really stick to one very specific kind of thing, I think you're always towing that line of pretension. Like where some people are of just always going to see something as pretentious if you're kind of, I don't know, trying some shit out, you know? I do think this movie tries some shit out that I thought was, for me, it worked. And yeah, it probably is kind of pretentious, but I don't know. I feel like maybe I like films that give that kind of vibe if I perceive them as like working, you know, but maybe it just didn't work for you. But like I actually, for example, like the opening scene, which I won't get into like the details of what's going on in the opening scene, but the opening scene to me it's like this, it's really just like one very small thing that's happening, but I feel like it was really creative how they kind of doled out the reveal of like what was actually happening, like where they actually were and where they were actually going. Do you kind of know what I'm referencing, or should I spoil this?
I forgot.
I'll just spoil the opening scene, so if you care about that, you can skip ahead a couple minutes or just tune out for a second. But basically, it's like they're all on a ship going to New York, but you don't really know that's exactly where they are. They're like they're just kind of like, there's lots of just like cross chatter and blah blah blah. Like you're kind of like getting impressions of all this, but then there's like this kind of big reveal that they like go onto the ship deck or whatever, and they like look up and they see what seems to be like a reflection of the Statue of Liberty, like on like it's upside down on the frame. Like they're seeing it before they actually see it, you know, like they're seeing like the reflection of something, and then it's like revealed that they're like seeing it for the first time. And I just thought that like that was very powerful to me, like mixed with the music and kind of like leading up to that, and then it's like you understand the gravity of it all for them, like seeing the Statue of Liberty and like what that represented. I don't know, I just thought it was like kind of going for these smaller human things that would like mean a lot to someone, but it's not like they themselves are like massive, like it's not like an explosion or something. It's just like this small thing, but the way they present it with like epic music and epic cinematography makes it feel quite intense and impactful. And like I don't know, I was kind of like I was rolling through these 3 hours, to be honest, to eventually finally answer Marshy's question there, which is like, for me, it kind of felt like watching just two movies back to back. Like you're watching a movie and then you're watching the sequel to the movie, especially with like the intermission in the middle. It felt like, all right, that was the first movie and this is the second movie. And yeah. And I will say the first half is stronger than the second half. Like for me, the second half is where it was faltering with some of its story choices, which I'll get into later. Mm-hmm. But the first half to me is basically perfect. Like I thought it was like super engaging, really phenomenal, and like fun to watch him, I don't know, kind of work his way through to this like major project that he wants to be able to do and can't seem to, you know, I just thought it was all like really fascinating. Mm-hmm. So yeah. Anywho.
Right on.
Should we get into spoilers or what?
Yeah, sure.
All right, so if you haven't seen The Brutalist and you care about spoilers, now would be the time to tune out, because we will be talking spoilers. So with that, do you want to talk about the ending? Do you want to talk about the ending?
Yeah, I thought it was funny how they had this afterward / presentation being done by his, niece, who's like, my grandfather was a visionary, and no matter what they try to tell you, it is about the end. It's not about the journey. It's like, that's going to be your final message for this guy's legacy. Like, I don't know. It just feels a bit trite and kind of very superficial, and kind of, it is brutal in that regard. It's like, okay, fuck everybody. What it matters is like, did you make this product that was ultimately like your demise and your vision, and was it all worth it? Like, for that one thing, which was basically this like prison cell of a building that like looks up at the sky. And I just think that that's a very, very short-sighted message to be delivering by the end of the movie, and especially in that way where it's like, as if this woman is like, going to this what is it, like it's this guy's it's a big honorary kind of thing for this artist. It makes it seem like, it reminded me of the end of Schindler's List, when they're like all, it's in modern day times, and then they're kind of like putting rocks in memoriam, and he's still there, and then but it's like, it seems like it's some kind of post biographical kind of thing, and it just felt it just feels, yeah, number one, pretentious, and also too like that's not. I don't think that I don't agree with that messaging. You know what I mean? That it's not about the journey and it's just about the like the what did she say? Yeah, about the destination or whatever it was. Like ultimately saying like it doesn't matter what happens along the way as long as you get your vision out there. You know, which
Well,
is
she just kind of plainly says what you already said, which was like,
it's
it
all
isn't
about legacy.
it
Like
isn't
it's
about the journey. It is about the destination, which is like, of course, a spin on the classic piece of advice that people always tell you, which is like it's about the journey, not the destination.
and I think it's not about either, you know. I mean, it's about both, and it's also like you can't just. I feel it's just not a good. I don't think that's good values, you know, to basically say like it was totally worth it for him to sacrifice, you know, one his like. Well, there were a lot of things about his moral compass that were questionable throughout his journey, you know what I mean? And then also the fact that he like gets sadly, you know, gets raped in the middle of all of it, and that was a part of his journey that was terrible and that really led to a part of his like mental demise, you know? And I mean, to say like, "Oh, all of that was worth this building, this whatever, like this legacy." And I think that there's just so much value placed on artistic integrity, which is important. Don't get me wrong. I think it's important to have art integrity, but like at what cost? And is that really, you know, is it worth the lives and the values of your loved ones and of your emotional, like, you know, distress? I mean, of your, it's one thing to like undergo emotional distress, but it's another thing to totally abandon like you know all you know regard for you know yourself and other people along the way. And I don't know if that's a value that I think is something that should be distributed to the public as being like the way it should be, you know. And I think that people do they do kind of assume that idea, you know. I think that artists and in our culture there is so much value placed on success and in being you know a hard ass about you know like maintaining your vision at all costs, and like it's okay to just treat people like total crap at the expense of you know sorry the expense of treating people like total crap so that you can maintain your vision, and that's the most important thing, which you know, it's not more important than treating people kind like with respect and you know with dignity. I really don't think that it is, and I think that we have it wrong if we think that that is the case. You know, it's not like yeah, that's not more important. You know, it's just not.
Yeah. Well,
I
obviously, I
think it's
totally agree
both.
with you on that, but I don't know if that's what it's ultimately saying, though. I mean, to be honest, I also was a little perplexed by that final line and really the epilogue in general. I feel like I thought it was kind of weird how brief it all was too. Like it flashes forward however many
Right.
decades, and then we just kind of get like a 5 minute, very brief look at like I guess they're at this sort of gallery opening with all of his work, and he's present, and yeah, like you said, his niece says these various things about him, ending with it's my he always proved that it was the destination, not the journey, or whatever. Um, and then it kind of just like abruptly ends, and I was kind of like, well, that was kind of weird. It almost just felt like why did that even need to be there in the first place? It almost felt like the stronger
Yeah, it was
ending.
just so weird. It was so weird.
Yeah, it was weird. I agree, but I will say, um, I was talking with Graham actually at our show, and I'm
Hmm.
forgetting exactly what he said. But I will say what he said, and this is like such a nothing statement because I can't remember what he said. But what he said about the ending at that time that I cannot remember, I was almost like, you know what? Maybe he's onto something. Like I think it might. I think how he was interpreting the ending was more like um, that, like the things that he had to go through, as being like a Holocaust survivor, or not survivor, but like he escaped it essentially.
Well, he
Um,
was a Holocaust
oh, he
survivor.
was okay. Sorry.
100%.
Like I think maybe he was interpreting it, which could be totally valid too, where it's not so much like what you're saying, which because obviously I agree with you too. Like I don't think you should treat people like shit. It's not just about the product, of course, totally. But I think maybe what they might be implying is it's like it's not like you don't have to be defined by the things that you had to go through, to like it doesn't, you don't need, it's that doesn't need to like hold you back or something, or in a kind of way like, we all have this like opportunity maybe
No,
to
hold
like,
you back. But then at the same time, his work is so defined by what he went through. Like the building itself is a reflection of his escape and
yeah,
all of his life's journey. So it's
right.
like, obviously, there is definition in the journey. You know what I mean? The final product is a culmination of the journey. And
Well, I think the truth as we know it though is of course that classic statement, which is it's about the journey, not the destination. Like that's the thing we hear time and time again. Like that is obviously like, I feel like that is just like the truth that humans understand though.
but I don't even think it's like, I don't even think either one is the truth, really. Honestly, I don't think you can just summarize the truth into that one statement.
Yeah.
It's so much more than either of those things could say, to me.
I guess I
mean,
didn't mean
would think.
truth, but more like the
More true than the other one.
well, what? No, not truth is the wrong phrase, but it's like, we have these common sentiments in, like an apple a day keeps the doctor away. Like these sorts of, obviously that's like a little
Proverbs.
further, but yeah, like these proverbs exactly that are kind of like these things that we just kind of say to each other, like, what I'm like what's one about like kindness,
Kindness begets kindness.
right, like yeah, exactly, like there's these sorts of things that obviously not everyone follows these, but I feel like we generally understand as like things that you should really be passing on to others, as like, you should remind people that these are things that we should try and follow. And I feel like it's not about the destination, it's about the journey is one of those things that we kind of generally follow. But I think maybe they're just trying to like kind of play with it a little bit. I'm not even saying I agree with it, because I more or less agree with you, but I do wonder if they aren't just getting at like, if they aren't just getting at the kind of more literal way to interpret that, and it's more about like, I don't know, like not letting your past define you or something, if it's a little more out there. Because I doubt that's what they're trying to say, is what I'm saying. Like, it doesn't feel like the movie.
Well, then they shouldn't have said that.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like they put that in there for a reason. I don't know. Maybe they just fucked up. But, I mean, that definitely, to me, it did sort of punctuate the movie in a lot of ways, in a way that felt, yes, I mean, unnecessary and superfluous, but also it twisted kind of the whole, intention, it seemed like, of the movie to me, to put that at the end. But also it was kind of like, all right, well, even if that wasn't in there, what is it really about? It's about a guy who, goes through some turmoil to achieve this, his artistic visions or whatever, which for me, how is this more or less like, I mean, I guess it's interesting because it's just, an artist's journey, which is always kind of interesting, but it's like I would rather probably watch a different artist's journey.
You weren't like interested in his family drama, like with his wife?
I was kind of, no, I mean, I kind of was, but it was just like not that, I guess okay, I'm not that into the style, so that was one thing that kind of was just, I wasn't already not latching on with that, but I mean, I love dramas. I love family dramas, and I love watching dramatic, tales of, different kinds of relationships and marriages and, people's stories and things like that. But it's like, why should I care about this one over a different one that might be more interesting to me?
Well, yeah, if it's not interesting, then it's not interesting to you. But I mean,
I guess it was just like the dynamic wasn't that, I guess it's weird because I could watch like a, I don't know, British period piece drama after British period piece drama for days and not get bored. But for some reason, the aesthetic of this one was not for me. And then it was like the dynamics between them were not that compelling, that it was like that different from a different, from another type of marriage drama, that I was that compelled, I mean, I was compelled enough to continue watching the movie. I was engaged enough to do it, but by the end of it, I was like, well, ultimately, I'm not that into this. But it's cool.
I mean,
like I said, it was fine. I didn't think it was a bad movie at all. I really didn't. And I thought that it was, that I thought the acting was good, and there were things about it that were good. It just, like I said, I just probably wouldn't watch it again.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I felt like there was always things to be intrigued by that weren't like specifically the style of art that he was doing. For me, like it didn't really matter. Like
Right.
it's
It
not
doesn't
like
really
I
matter.
love brutalist architecture either. Like it's
No, I mean,
interesting,
yeah.
but it's not like this is a passion of mine that I'm like, whoa, fucking cool. But like, and in
It's
fact,
just interesting. Like, why did they decide to make the movie about this type of character, about this type of, I don't know. I'm
about
just
this type of
curious. Like,
architecture, well, don't you think
yeah,
that
like,
it has to
what
do
was
with
it about this that made the filmmaker want to do this? You know what I mean?
well, I do think that the brutalist architecture. I mean, weren't they kind of explaining it a little bit like that he was, kind of like taking his own history as a Holocaust survivor into this though? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, so I feel like
So,
it
do you
made
think?
sense like that would be something that he would be passionate about.
I
Um,
suppose. Yeah, I guess that's maybe it.
and for me also, it's not always just about like. I mean, I was invested in the family drama, especially in the first half when it's like you know that he's like he's writing to his wife, they're writing to each other. He wants to get her to come to the United States as well. And it's like I was invested in that. I wanted that to happen too. Like I cared about them, and I thought it was like I was deeply emotionally invested when she finally arrives because it was like this big moment. Like I was like, I don't know, I was invested. I feel like the parts that I got less
Right.
invested in were in the second half. I feel like there's a stretch of there's like maybe 30 minutes or so of the movie that I was pretty bored by, which was like when it just sort of started to get into like the actual mechanics of them like building the building, which I did not care about. Like,
Hmm.
and I also felt like it's interesting because my boyfriend Josh is an architect, and I was talking with him about
Oh yeah.
this too. I was like, what did you think of these various parts of the movie? And he was like, he's basically kind of saying too that like he felt like they were focusing on the parts that were kind of like the least interesting parts of the process. And I was kind of like, well, yeah, because I also was like not interested in what like we gotta get the materials, like what are we gonna do about this and that. Like I don't know, it's kind of like whatever to this. Like I thought I was more invested when he's talking about like conceptually, like okay, we're gonna put this like cross here to where like the light will shine in a certain kind of way, and like at noon it drapes down, and like these sorts of more artistic statements that he's making with the building itself I thought were really cool. But then when it gets down to like we gotta get more concrete, I'm like, I don't give a shit. Like whatever. Like there was some elements where I feel like when it actually got down to business I didn't care. But I feel like most of the time it wasn't down to business. It was more just it played around with, obviously he's an architect, obviously this is what he's doing, but it's more like the vibe, like you can just kind of cruise on the vibe alone. Without being invested. So for me, I prefer that if it's going to be about a subject that isn't really like my subject. So it kind of captured me regardless of my lack of interest in specifically brutalist architecture.
Right.
Yeah. But look, I don't know. I liked it.
Yeah. I mean, it's fine. Yeah.
And loved the score. I really like I feel like actually the score did a lot of heavy lifting for me, and the visual look. It was shot on VistaVision, which is like something that they don't normally do now. They generally stopped that in about the 1960s. And it does look, I think, really gorgeous. I saw it at a 70 millimeter screening, like they projected it in 70 millimeter, which was it really looked beautiful. I mean, it
Where'd you
was
see it?
gorgeous at Alamo Drafthouse.
Oh, cool.
And I actually do think this is something to see in theaters if you can, because it is. I think there's an American epic feel to it. It's shot like an American epic, and it just kind of it feels like these sorts of, I don't know. It gives a big feeling if you see it on a big screen.
I mean, maybe I'll watch it again.
You don't need to. You don't need to. It sounds like it wouldn't really be worth it to watch
I don't
again
know.
for you, but it's a bummer. I mean, I thought that maybe you would enjoy it a little more than you did, but unfortunately you didn't.
I don't know. I mean, it was fine. I didn't dislike it fully.
Yeah, this is like probably gonna be 4 on your top 10
I mean,
list.
it was probably better than Beetlejuice.
This will be 4 on your top 10 list for 2026.
4? I don't know about 4, but
But maybe 7.
yeah, I'd put it around there. I mean, what did I put?
This
what
is
did I
better than
put?
Beetlejuice. Actually, you know what we can do? I can just
Definitely
pull.
better than Beetlejuice.
I'm pulling up the. Where is it? Oh, you aren't seeing, but I have your list up on the screen. Actually, let's see. You have Beetlejuice is number 9. Then A Real Pain at number 8. Number 7 is Nora. Number 6 is A Different Man. Number 5 is The First Omen. Just stop me when you think that it would. Uh-huh. Oh, actually, I'm just now realizing people probably can't hear you when I do that. Sorry.
Oh.
I switched to a different thing.
Okay.
She said she thinks it's better than Beetlejuice.
Oh yeah. Wait, what number was Beetlejuice?
Number 9.
Oh, 9, yeah. So
Yeah.
I'd probably, I mean, I might have liked it more than, I don't know.
Forget it, whatever.
Wait, what was above Nora? What was Nora? What was, oh yeah.
Nora.
I mean, not Nora.
Everything's Beetlejuice. You're like.
No, it was
What was above A Real Pain, A Real Pain?
Oh yeah, A Real Pain. Yeah.
Was it better than Challengers or
I definitely liked it more than Challengers. No offense.
Challengers?
God, I hate to say these things because I just love Luke Guadagnino. I think you're great, amazing. You know, hire me to do any kind of musical work you might need. Yeah, I just, you know, I don't know.
Oh, I love both these movies. I think they're both great. I mean, you should watch his other film. I don't know. Maybe you hate him now, so it wouldn't be worth it.
No, I don't hate him.
Queer is good. Queer is real good. It's good. Anywho.
Sure, I'll check it out.
We could probably wrap it up, though, I feel, unless you had anything else that you want to say on the Brutalist.
I think that does it for me. But, you know, I love you all.
Well, in that case...
yeah. No, it's all good, you know.
In that case, that's going to do it for us. Let's see. Any other any plugs that you want to replug or plugs that we haven't plugged?
Check out the new single by Foxtails Brigade called Two Forces. It's out on all streaming platforms. And if you want to order the new album, you can, I do believe, at the foxtailsbrigadeband.com website. And if you order the album, you will get a physical CD along with a link to where you can stream the album in advance of the release on digital platforms. So you'll get a pre-streaming link to the album, the physical copy, and other fun stuff too.
Hell yeah.
I don't know. What else?
I feel like I never plugged my other little streaming situation that I do, which is I stream games as well, if you care about that. I'm Totally Dommy on Twitch. Totally Dommy with a Y. You can follow me there if you feel like watching me, laugh and scream at some video games. I generally... I do like a horror game called Dead by Daylight a lot. It's real fun. So follow me there if you so wish. That's my plug.
That I watched you play that one time, was it?
Probably not. Probably
was
not.
That one that I came over to your house and you played and I kind of played it and it was scary and there was a whole thing. People were just obsessing over it and there was some kind of a reveal about it or some kind of something. I don't know.
I feel like we haven't played games together in a long time.
I know.
No,
It
it'd be
was a
fun if
long
you.
time ago.
You
It
should.
was a long time ago.
You
Remember?
should.
It was like you go in these rooms and there's God, I don't even remember what it's called, but it was scary and you have to do things and.
Scary. You have to do things and you go in rooms. Unfortunately, that describes.
It's haunted. There's lights going on and off and things like that.
Haunted and there's lights going on and off.
Yeah, and something about.
Well, we must have played it at your house, right?
No, we played it at your house, and I feel like the game maker did some kind of stunt where people were really into it, and I forgot.
Oh, PT.
What was that called? What is PT?
It's like in one hallway that is repeating, right?
I think so. Yeah. Maybe. Yeah,
mean,
and then there's things that happen, and there's.
but you like kind of keep going, and it is very scary. Like there's kind of like you'll hear like a baby cry from the bathroom, and you go in, and
Yeah.
that shit is real scary. It's true, yeah.
Really?
That's a real spooky one. I mean, that one gets me good at least,
Were you
because it's like
disturbed?
it's very grounded in reality, but then it's like the supernatural elements I feel like they feel like something that could actually happen, which that is what scares me the most in general. Same with movies. Like I feel like that is what actually will scare me. But I also love horror games that are just like over the top, silly, kind of scary, in a more of like a, I don't know, 80s kind of way.
Wait, do you still do a lot of virtual reality kind of stuff, VR stuff?
Yeah, I got that. I got that PSVR.
I gotta
You
use
should
that.
come over. You should come over. We should have a game night.
I'd be down.
Yeah, we should get a game night on the books. We could
Let's
even
get some Tetris attacks going.
yeah. We could make it like an evening where I'm streaming to my Totally Dommy thing with my regulars, and they could watch you do some antics.
Do you have a lot of regulars?
I got some regulars. In fact, some of the regulars are here, such as Gemma.
Well, hello.
And Weird Artifacts.
Oh wow, really? Oh my god.
They're a bit of regulars.
You guys hang out? Okay.
They hang out.
Look
They
at you
chill.
guys.
Anyways,
Well, yeah,
we
I
can
would
wrap
be
it up.
down, and yeah, I know Dylan really wants to hang out, so should do that.
Dylan Gallagher.
Dylan from the block.
Dylan Gallagher. What?
The Dylan, yeah,
Well, look, yeah, it could be a triple threat game night.
could be a triple nipple.
Yeah. Well, anyways, I think that's going to do it for us at the Totally Tell Me Studios. Our next episode is going to be on February 23rd. You can follow us on Instagram too. We always announce what films we're going to be doing, usually the week of. So follow us there if you want to play along, watch the movie at home, something like that. You can also, if you weren't watching live, you can follow us on Twitch or YouTube. And if you want to listen later on podcast services, we're available on all of the regulars, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, etc. So with that, well, that's it.
Thanks for tuning in, Bryce, Gemma, Weird Artifacts, all the homies, Justin Coleman.
Mm-hmm.
You know who you are, Marshy.
Mm-hmm. Marshy, yeah. What's up? All right. Take care.
Okay.
Bye-bye.